Hi there, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me for this full moon in Leo video. I will start by saying that it is a particularly strong full moon, given that it is in the sign of Leo, symbolized by the Strength card in the tarot deck. So, if we're looking at the full moon in and of itself, right, it symbolizes a peak of energetic expression, very high energy frequency. And that is, in a way, symbolized by fire, right? The fire element. So when you take the full moon and you put it in the sign of Leo, which is a fire sign, you get very strong energy flow. So, and because it relates to the moon, this can speak to our emotions, our emotional self, right? Feeling a lot of emotion, feeling a lot of fire energy within us. And I believe it's absolutely imperative that you that you harness and express this fire energy in such a way that is healthy, right? That is that makes for the proper expression and use of that fire energy, right? So absolutely, I would engage in fire activities like exercise, sweating. It's so important to sweat, right? Walks are great, but to actually get that fire burning, right? Think about fire. Think about a fireplace. Think about a campfire when you're looking into the fire pit, right? What do you feel? What do you sense? That's the sort of energetic expression that I think is important to mimic during this time, right? Because fire energy that's left to sort of broil inside of us can lead to these sort of other way of expressing fire energy, the other side of fire energy, right? Because every element has its positive manifestation and its negative manifestation, so to speak, negative. So, so if we're looking at fire energy, right, it speaks to pride, strength, resilience, right? The initiative, the courage that it takes to move forward in a certain direction. It speaks to presentation, right, of the self. Namely, if we're looking at the Strength card, we very much see that sort of feeling, right, that's emanated from the card. But that manifestation, right, of energy can also, when not properly harnessed and utilized and expressed in a healthy way, can lead to its other form of expression, right? Which sometimes can lead to feelings of anger, right? Feeling just at your boiling point, feeling, sometimes it can also lead to an expression of in some ways, right? It depends, but, and we see this also with the Strength card, it can also symbolize a potential sort of feeling of, I don't want to say arrogance, but somewhat of an overcompensation of that feeling of pride, of power, of, right? So it's this fine line between the positive wielding of fire energy and that which is not conducive, right, to our ultimate desire to manifest and create. Too much fire growing wildly out of control can destroy, right, as we see on the Tower card of the tarot deck. But fire, when tempered appropriately, when contained and channeled in a way that is truly positive, truly conducive, ultimately leads to creation, right? Fire being a very creative element to work with. So having said that, right, it's a beautiful time during this full moon in Leo to assess, right, how we wield our fire energy. Everybody has fire energy. Everyone has fire energy. Some people more than others, right, depending on the planetary placements in your chart, right? And if you don't know the planetary placements in your chart, I have a service on my website, alchemyandyou.com. You can click that. It's an astrological chart report and interpretation. You'll get a feel for your elemental composition as a whole. But regardless of that, everybody has fire. Everybody has a certain level of fire. So this is a beautiful time, again, to take a step back and think about how are we exerting our will, right? Is it in a healthy way for ourselves and for others? Is it being channeled in a way that's helping us create, right? Or is it inhibiting us? Is it sabotaging our growth in some sort of way, right? So to speak. So, full moon is oftentimes a period of fruition of whatever seed or intention we planted during the new moon period. And I will say this, right? In a month, we have one new moon and we have one full moon. But that's the micro cycle. There's also a macro cycle in terms of the year. So what it means is, yes, within every month, right, you have a new moon, you set an intention, it's a brand new slate, right? Taking advantage of those very fertile energies, which then in some shape or form culminates, brings illumination and fruition at the full moon in the same month. But when looking at the macro sort of stage of manifestation, right, we look at the yearly cycle. We look at the new moon in that year that corresponds to the full moon in that year, both within the same sign. So it means the new moon in Leo, which was 6 months ago, because they are always corresponding within a 6-month interval. The new moon in Leo corresponds to the full moon in Leo. So in a more macro way, think about what you were really focused on, trying to bring to fruition, right? During the new moon period in Leo 6 months ago. And whatever that is, right, it is now reaching its peak at this full moon that we have today. So that's why I think it's so incredibly important to keep track of the moon cycles, right? It's really stepping into the rhythm of our energies by way of the moon's course. So the next new moon will be coming up, I believe, at the end of this month. So stay tuned for that. I'll have a video on that to assess sort of the energies for each of the signs during that period of time, so you can make the most of that new beginning of a cycle for the moon. All right. Nonetheless, I'd love to get started here. There's a lot of beautiful energy to work with. I'm already feeling it, high intensity. So let's get right to it. Aquarius. Ooh, Aquarius, interesting. I am feeling almost like a rising, like a lightness from you guys, a rising up. Aquarius, you could be having some interesting dreams. You could be having, you could be having, like astral projection type of experiences. You could be, really kind of, beautiful cards, by the way, that just popped out. And I'll get to them. But I want to complete this thought. You could be really in tune and raising your vibration in some sort of way, meditating. I'm feeling a lot of meditative work for you guys. A lot of meditative work. This wants to pop out. Wielding your creative potential and energy, absolutely, with the Daughter of Wands popping out. So I'm sensing that there is a liberation of some sort from a situation that held you down. You're transformed, you're redefined, you're Aquarius 2.0. That's the kind of feeling I'm getting. And I remember, right, in your previous readings, there was a feeling of being entrapped in some sort of situation, some sort of predicament that wasn't speaking to your sense of self-empowerment, that wasn't, really positive for you in terms of your self-sufficiency and your independence, this new creative path that speaks to you and who you are, right, personally. So I'm going to pull 3 more cards here. Yes, this one's to come out, and wow. Alrighty. Aquarius. Beautiful cards. You're on fire, Aquarius. You are light. You are rising, right? You are no longer being held down, it seems. You have strength. I mean, a few cards are popping this card out. So a few signs are popping this card out on this full moon reading, which is beautiful, right? Stepping into that magnanimous, fiery, driven, creative energy space. Beautiful. Harness that, right? That courage, that boldness, that authenticity, right? To who we are. Stepping out with that presentation, right? This is a card that rules entertainment, performance, stage. This is Leo's card, right? So very much you're presenting yourself in a way that is courageous, bold, true to who you are, that involves your sense of creativity and a sense of self-expression. And it could be, actually, let me get to that card, after we get into the rest of the reading, because I'm feeling it's somehow connected. Okay, so you're getting clarity about your situation. You're definitely speaking your truth. You're definitely emotionally communicating your stance, so to speak. Whatever it is that you're doing, it seems to be very creative. And in that creative project are sort of the expressions of your own personal experiences, your own personal feelings, emotions, right? You have the 10 of Cups, overflowing cups. It's the end of an emotional cycle, and we're now expressing all of that sort of reservoir of energy and experiences that touched us emotionally. We're now tipping those cups over, expressing them, letting that energy be transfused and transmuted into a project that we will be wielding, or an endeavor, or a path, right? The wielding and the harnessing of creative potential and energy. I'm seeing that. Now, you're feeling confident. You're feeling really confident, Aquarius. You have 2 Pentacles cards that popped out here. One, right beneath strength, the 3 of Pentacles, speaking to stability, formation, and grounding. It seems that maybe you are starting even something entrepreneurial, right? That has to do with finances, that has to do with career, that regards your sense of creativity and that very creative, emotional contribution that you make to it. Beneath it is the Sun. In reverse. So, amidst all of this energy and all this contribution, all these efforts that you're making and all this direction, right, is hopefulness, is the anticipation that clarity will come about, that the sun will shine, right, that we will reap the rewards of our efforts, and even rewards in terms of just personal satisfaction, right? And it doesn't have to be tangible rewards. It could just feel like I feel really good and stable about this type of thing, right? I feel really good about what I'm doing. I'm feeling very light about what I'm doing. So the 8 of Pentacles is at the very top right. And by the way, it does feel like you are feeling very light. But I think the Sun in reverse in the bottom corner is about really, really communicating the the motivation that you have that's propelling you forward along this new path, right? The the uh, the inspiration, the hope, positivity, and the vision that you have, right, about what you want all of this energy to contribute to in the future. And it seems you're working very hard towards that, very hard towards that. Constant climbing, working, focus. You are very, you're, wow. You have, it's almost like this, in the back of your mind, the subconscious, right? The face of you is like, this strength card is like, this is me, I'm projecting myself, this is how I'm moving forward. But in the back of your mind, right, in the underpinnings of whatever this project is that you're moving forward with, there is incredible focus and persistence of actual hard work that's going into this. Okay, I'm seeing you working very hard, and it's good because you have a lot of energy. It seems you got strength, you got the sun, a lot of optimism, a lot of hope, confidence. Okay. Son of Cups, creative new journey. Ace of Cups, right? Hoping for that emotional renewal and satisfaction. Speaking your truth about it. You've come out, speaking your truth about it. Three of Cups. Okay, I'm sensing in this new community or endeavor, this path that you're moving along, right? There's very much a collaborative effort. It's almost like new day at school feeling, right? Meeting people like yourself, meeting people who are like you, right? Engaging in that sort of in this new world, right? That you're getting involved in, and that you are embarking on. It's almost like you're introducing yourself, sort of feeling. Okay, this Star, beautiful card to pull out, right above the Lovers, both in reverse, speaking to the inevitable flight of freedom, of independence that is to be taken, right? By way of all this energy, by way of all these efforts, by way of your movement along this new path, okay, is all really hoping, right, to achieve your dream, right? To achieve, to rise, to fly, right? To achieve ultimate satisfaction that speaks to your soul, that speaks to who you are on such a deep level, right? Lovers in reverse, right? Ultimate emotional satisfaction. Absolutely. And rose quartz crystal. I placed it here for Libra earlier in this video, but I'm feeling it for you, and it's right above the Lovers and the Star. There's a dream that you have of deep emotional satisfaction that you want to achieve. And perhaps it involves compassion, love, right? Harmony with others and with ourselves, right? The nurturing that we offer to others, and also the nurturing that we offer to ourselves, okay? So I'm sensing that's somehow integral. At the theme of your reading, you have the Mother of Cups in reverse. Speaking to a very, very intuitive energy, but it's in reverse. So I'm sensing, and it's motioning over to everything here. This could be someone who you are working with, in tandem with, along this new journey, who is almost like a director of some sort. Let me tune in here really quickly, Aquarius, for 1 second. Yeah, I mean, this, beneath the Mother of Cups, you got the Five of Swords. And I remember this card coming out for you for quite some time, speaking to the need to break through self-imposed restrictions, fear, guilt, or anything like that, perhaps, right? Okay, I'm feeling that. See, the Mother of Cups is a very intuitive, creative, in control of emotion sort of energy, follows intuition, right? Takes very much of a leader kind of role, a nurturing role, a compassionate role. And perhaps this is sort of the energy to which you aspire, right, to possess. You want Yeah. But you need to step into this energy fully, into your emotional being and your emotional reservoir, right? Creative energy. You need to break through this self-imposed restriction, right? Of any kind that is mental, right? That is of any kind that regards our logic, right? Well, I want to do this, but so-and-so thinks this about it, or so-and-so thinks that about it, or technically it, that kind of thing. It's like intuition versus logic. It's that sort of thing. So I'm sensing it's just a small little self-imposition, right? That once you break through, right, and it's kind of an illusion, right? The worm is like not really inhibiting the sword from striking forward, right? It's just it seems like an obstacle, right? So think about as an exercise what is holding you back in any shape or form from expressing yourself in this new way, in the most powerful way, in the most confident way, in a way that really allows you to tap into your emotions in with ultimate being really in touch with yourself emotionally, right? So think about what is any sort of inhibition from that, right? That's taking place that may be holding you back from that space that you want to reach within yourself and with yourself. All right. So it's a beautiful energy, though. Again, just think through, right? Think through really, and it's a great time for clarity, right? The full moon, clarity, illumination, truth, manifestation, right? So work with this energy, right? And reflect. Think about what is, if you're emotionally feeling inhibited in any way, like you're not able to present yourself in the way that you want, in a way that you feel really comfortable in, think about what in the back of my mind, right, subconscious, what is the sort of thoughts, right, even self-talk, right, that I'm maybe participating in, right? How am I regarding what other people think, right? Am I afraid to take the stand? Am I afraid to present myself in a certain way, and why, right? Is something holding me back? Is it myself? Is it others? So think about that a bit, all right, Aquarius? Thank you so much for tuning in. If you guys, let's see. Oh, okay. Absolutely, definitely check your ascendant, rising, or moon sign, as those oftentimes provide even further details. I know that I really resonate with my moon, okay? So if you don't know any one of those signs for yourself, check the link below in the description box and enter in your details once you click that. Just make sure that your birth time is correct, even down to the minute, as oftentimes a few minutes off can change things a little bit, okay? Now, yeah, it's a great way to kind of get to know yourself, a little better beyond your sun sign, as there's so much more energy in the chart to discover, right, about yourself and how you energetically express naturally, right, the propensities that we have energetically to express ourselves. So if you want an even further interpretation of your energetic blueprint and being by way of your birth chart, I have a service on my website, alchemyandyou.com. It's called the Astrological Elemental Report and Interpretation. I will look at all of your planets and their placements and get a feel for elementally where you are very strong, where you may be kind of neutrally expressed, and where maybe perhaps an element is lacking in its prominence through your chart, and in what areas of life that refers to. All right, so if that's of interest to you guys, feel free to check it out. Otherwise, have a beautiful full moon. This is a great time. You pulled strength. All power to you, Aquarius, in this new charge forward and this new beginning that seems to be really exciting. So take advantage of this high peak of energy at the full moon. I will be back actually with a special secret surprise Valentine's Day reading. It will be about love, but it might not be about the love that you expect it to be about. All right, so tune in. It'll be exciting and interesting, perhaps, and I look forward to seeing you guys then. Otherwise, next week I will have a full March reading for you guys. All right, so stay tuned for that as well. In the meantime, enjoy February, Aquarius. Have a great full moon, and I'll see you soon. Bye.